This is WSN. Love it or leave it. The underdog's on top, and you can either agree or disagree with her. But either way, the tribe is all here. This is a Tribe Called Jess. You can call the show anytime at 855-77-WYLDE. That's 855-779-9533.
And welcome to a Tribe Called Jess, and we got a full house tonight, and we're pumped. The tribe is all here.
Hey.
And Oshie has his own camera, and I have Frankie Diaz.
What up?
Frank the Tank. We haven't seen him in a while, but maybe on my birthday episode. And I have Julio July Diaz.
I hope not.
I have Johnny Canifer doing amazing things back there, everything technical. He's awesome. And I have my lifer, Jeff, the producer of the show on the Wild Style Network. We're coming to you from the Salisbury Studios, fueled by Monster Energy. And Oshie has his own camera, and he just wants to go hang out with everyone tonight. Hi, Oshie. What's up? Sit down. He's tethered in, guys. Don't worry. So we have a lot on deck tonight. I'm super excited. Kind of give you a rundown, but guess what today is?
What? Wednesday.
Jeff's going to say something crazy.
No, I don't know, but I just heard you offering a rundown. I'm not sure if you know what a rundown is or not, but
is it like a gangbang?
no, it's
I'm not doing that on air.
Sorry,
boy.
made my ears perk up real quick.
I always learn something new with Jeff every week.
A rundown. Well, guys, I'm not demoing that, but hey. But what is today? It's 18 days till my birthday.
Oh.
It is coming up, guys. I am going to be a lovely 49 years old, and I'm proud of it. I own it. Stronger. And we have a lot on deck tonight. We're going to talk about a few things. The first one is it is Women's History Month, and we are going to celebrate the amazing species called woman because we are awesome. We are awesome. And we have a reel about a young lady putting down older ladies that they shouldn't do this, that, and the other. And I have a lot to say about this. And a little sex there. I tied that in with it.
What a surprise.
And then the big subject that I put on Facebook, we're going to talk about ONLYFANS and how this came up.
Finally.
The rabbit hole we went down, the rabbit hole in my research, and so much feedback. And I wanted to pause for a minute and just tell everyone listening and watching and on all my socials, your socials, for all the support, for the nice inboxes. Nothing brings me more joy when somebody says, oh my God, that was so funny. You made a difference. What you said mattered. And just the support we're seeing all over the place from friends, people that I'm not close to. It is so appreciated, and I never want it to seem like it's not. My day is full from 4 a.m., and I'll get home, and I'll be working till after midnight. So if I don't get back to you, it's not because I don't care. It's just I get very busy. So thank you guys for the support.
Yeah, thank you for all the support.
And we got a big weekend on deck. We're going to Flash, DC, the opening of Sundown. Tribe Called Jess will be in the house, and I'm going to bring some Tribe Called Jess giveaways to hand out. So if you are going to be at Sundown, come see me. And I'm super excited, dude.
Yeah,
it's the new Androids Collective. I love Sundown so much. I know summer's coming when the first one drops, and I'm just excited to have a good time with you guys. D's coming out. A bunch of our friends are
what's coming out?
D.
Oh.
Not that.
I didn't say D's coming out. I was like, whoa.
Don't look at Jeff.
D's nuts are coming out.
Go ahead, Jeff. Say it. Say it.
No, these nuts.
There you go.
But a few announcements before we get into it all. May the 3rd, coming up, we are having Night at the Salisbury.
Oh, yes.
We're going to take it back to the old DC days of the Dome and the Bank. And we could go down the list. What was it? Fifth Column. I'm trying to think of all the ones we used to go to. Fur. And Shark Club days, if you were on this side. I know a lot of people from DC came out here. And we have DJ Will Graley, and we're going to bring that through. I'm sorry. All the way to modern day electronic club music. Yes. And we have Will Graley on decks. I'm so excited. I think most people know who Will is. He is such a treat. And I look forward
If
to.
they don't, they will.
That's true. What?
If they don't know who it is,
they will. Oh, you will.
Well,
Will you will know?
Oh, that went over my
drum
head.
roll.
I respect that. That was really good.
And then May 20th is my pre-birthday episode, and I am super stoked because we got a packed house of Tribe Called Jess. I'm sorry, March 20th, not May.
I have an extra month to survive.
Missed my whole birthday. I have my usual tribe. I have Patterson in the house. I have Jason in the house. I have Millie in the house. Megan in the house. I have a few stop-bys. I'm forgetting someone. Hold on. I got to check my notes. Lauren. One of our most favorite guests and our audience's favorite guest. Lauren will be here. And again, some few surprises, maybe a zoom in or two from people all over the place. So I'm super stoked about
2 hour
that.
special, right?
2 hour special.
And also a shot or 3.
I won't do a lot of shots. We cannot do like my birthday or I like New Year's. Sorry. Oh my God. What a hot mess. If you have not watched our New Year's Eve special that aired in December, where it was a nice 2 hour special. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I don't remember the second hour.
We had to cut the show. Oh God. That was a good time.
Yeah, make sure I get a little sign for my car, Jeff. I don't want it towed again.
How am I supposed to know you're going to get drunk and leave your car here?
That wasn't on New Year's,
You got to
though.
warn me.
That
was New Year's.
No, that was when we
It was New
Oh
Year's.
yeah, it was. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Or New Year's special. Okay, yeah. Wow, time flies. And let's see, what else did I have for announcements? We had May 3rd, and then I am going to get my eyebrows done. I'm very excited about this. I've never had it done. I've done the waxing, but whatever girls do, I'm not going to make them really big because I just had my eyes done, so I don't want them to look. But I'm really excited because now they'll shape up with my face.
But what are they going to draw them more? What
No, they do oh God, not the laminating, the other one. So I'll have fuller eyebrows.
Are you going to look like Uncle Leo in Seinfeld?
No, I'm not going to look like Uncle Leo. I am going to Forever Young I think it's permanent makeup. And Patricio, I'm going to say this wrong, Lizarraga is going to do my eyebrows. And he's done many people I know. Oh, my God, they're amazing. Follow him on Facebook. So I am going to go there, and I'm very, very excited. So don't make me look bad. I have a show 2 days. Next 2 days later. So stoked about that. Anyway, what else do we have? Oh, so I want to lead into this week. No. I wanted to do this short story of Jeff and I. Jeff and I are on the phone this week, and we're talking about old times. And and I said, "Oh my God, my 30th birthday party was at the Shark Club or at Ozio down in DC. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we got a bunch of tables, and I was dancing, and I always thought I was such a dummy for this. And we're dancing, and somebody goes, "Hey, do you want to party?" And you know me, I'm like, "This is my party." And they're like, "What?" Get it? Oh. I had no idea. Frankie, people refer to party as naughty things. And
party favors.
Yeah. And I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. This is my party." Well, Jeff turns around and tells me, he said, "Tell your story."
Oh, yeah. So I used to date this girl that liked to party before we were dating, supposedly. I think it was while we were dating, too. But anyways, so we weren't together, and I was hanging out at Shark Club one night, and I'm talking to one of her friends, and she's like, "Oh, you like to party, don't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And so, we're hitting it off, talking. We go back to my house, her and her girlfriend, having a good old time. And they're like, "I thought you said that we were going to party." I'm like, "We are partying, aren't we?" I thought literally they were talking about hanging out and having a good time. No, that's not what they were talking about.
Yeah.
So I learned what partying meant.
Same.
When I was 30. Yeah, probably about 29, 30. Yeah.
Okay, well, at least I felt so much better in my, like, over the course of my life. I'm like, God, I sound like an idiot. And I'm like, okay, it wasn't just me. Because I was very upset. I'm like, this is my party and I'm dancing. And I remember my girlfriend looking at the person and going, she doesn't party. It was so funny. Anyway, that was a little side note. Jeff and I had a good laugh this week. And anyway, that was a good one. And then.
It's nice to hear old folks reminisce.
I'm going to beat
that
your
terminology
ass.
is like, back in the day.
Even Jeff said, wow, you're a year younger than me. Be quiet. You are a year and 2 months, 3 months younger than me. You, naughty. Naughty. For the record, Frankie's 47.
Yes.
So other news this week, getting into a little sportsy sports. Jason Kelsey retired.
Yeah.
Did you guys have the chance to watch the retirement 45-minute retirement speech or excerpts from it?
I don't want to hear Frankie crying the entire time, so I said no.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
It was. I
Did
saw
you
some
watch?
of it.
Yeah.
I saw especially the clip with his brother.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
I teared up on that one.
I just thought there was a couple things I took away. Again, what a family.
Yeah.
Just what a united family. What a great bond between brothers. I mean, how he said they used to pretend they were already winning Super Bowls in the backyard and, saying that if it wasn't for Travis, he wouldn't be where he's at. And him being the older brother that Travis literally today on his New Heights podcast looks up to. And just, hearing that camaraderie and the profound love, them both crying, the profound love they have for each other was just, God, what a bond. I think what got me most was when he talked about his wife.
Yeah.
And what he said about Kylie and just the day he met her and how the best years of his football and the best man he's been is since he's met her and her support and the way she puts him in line. And the thought that ran through my head in that moment was, I hope one day a guy talks about me like that. Because it was just amazing to hear a man talk like that.
Yeah, I mean, a good woman.
She's a great woman.
Yeah.
She's a Philly girl. Of course she's a great woman. Duh.
Well, what's the saying? Behind every great man is
A great Philly girl?
a pissed off woman.
That's because we're good-hearted and we'll whoop your ass in shape.
Yeah, no, a good woman does help a man become level up even more.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that sounds cliche sometimes, but it's absolutely true. A good woman will absolutely have your back, be loyal, push you towards your goals, take care of you in certain ways.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to sound like a sex gender roles either way, but I mean, good women nurture as well as challenge, I think, and there's that healthy balance between the two.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation before where I've told you that, a good woman a woman has the power to build a man or destroy a man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how much power women yield.
And I'm going to get it. Actually, that goes along with something when we get into women's, a little bit of women's stuff that I'll talk about the power that women wield and that how we should use that and how we should not, right? But that was kind of cool. And then I thought just a little excerpt of Tay-Tay, because we haven't talked about Tay-Tay in a while, Taylor and Travis. One is, I am almost at winning my bet that they will still be together by my birthday.
Holy shit.
So everybody, fingers crossed, Jessica's going to get some money. So I have people challenging me that they wouldn't stay together past the new year. And I said, okay, my birthday, that's how confident I am. So, oh God, just hang on till my birthday. But he talks so great about her on the New Heights podcast today. He is in love. That boy is in love. And speaking of football, so I want to get into this. The combine just ended.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was cool. And
Yeah, a lot of records are broken this one.
there were. And we're going to talk about one of them broken because let me tell you guys what I have. I'm breaking up with Travis Kelsey. But we're not, yeah. I feel bad. Don't put it up yet, John. I feel bad because I love Tay-Tay so much. Love Travis more. I've always been a bigger fan of his.
Yeah.
But I can't crush on her man anymore.
Just as doing
Curious
what
to
all
see
older
who
women
she's-
do.
I'm not gonna
trading up for a new model.
Trading up for the new model. Not yet.
She dumped Brad Pitt for Travis.
No, I'll always love Brad.
Oh, now she loves Brad Pitt again.
If Brad was here right now, it's a hard yes.
Yeah, we noticed when we were watching Bullet Train. Bullet Train?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so hot. Even as he's aged, he's just so damn sexy. Anyway, and then April 25th through the 29th is the actual draft.
Yeah.
So that will be held in Detroit. And I thought it was always held in Radio City Music Hall. Am I wrong? I always thought it was in New York. But and it's at a famous park in Detroit, a campus, Campus Martins Park. And I think I wrote Hartman. Sorry, guys. When I write these notes, sometimes I even question what I was writing. So that's good for Detroit, right? And they had a little bit of a mock draft up. So when you guys, before I do this, when you guys watched the combine, did you have any favorites?
The quarterback from Michigan, what's his name?
Don't ask me about names. You know I always forget names.
I know. I can't remember his name.
I've always been following Caleb Williams and all the drama behind it. That he doesn't want. He didn't take the physical. He's like not participating in anything.
He's just going for it.
Yeah, he's like all business.
Well, he might be all business, but in the mock draft that they put up, Caleb Williams is predicted to go number 1 QB for USC to the first round draft pickers, the Bears.
The Bears.
And going down that list, kind of a shout out, DC. Let's see what happens. Drake May, QB for North Carolina, is predicted to go to the Washington Commanders.
I think I like that pick more.
you like
than
the
Caleb.
pick?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that pick? Any opinions, John, Jeff, Julio, about Drake May? They're predicting the quarterback from North Carolina is going to come to the Commanders. No idea.
No.
It's gonna be another.
I just
tough
hear
season
what
for
they
the
say,
Commanders.
what the junkies say. That's all. The only sports I hear.
Yeah, well, if this is right, then I get big points. I pulled this offline. And then Jaden Dan, QB LSU, the Patriots. Marvin Williams, running back, Ohio State they think will go to the Cardinals. And then Brock Bowers, tight end for Georgia, will go to the Chargers.
Ooh.
You can throw that
That's
up
a good
now.
pick right there.
Okay, guys. I want to go back to this. Here is my new love. Do you see my new love?
A tan Travis Kelce.
Sam Hartman, QB for Notre Dame, who did a 4.80 in the 40-yard dash.
That's right.
And I am obsessed. When I was doing my research, I saw his face, and I was like, and Jeff, did you see his hair?
I thought I see his hair, his
know.
nice beard.
I was like,
Let's
Jeff,
not get started on that.
I
Jeff
hope he
is gonna
speaks
be
with an
so
accent.
mad.
He reminds me of the guy from
Latin lover.
Deuce
He's
Bigelow.
not my normal
Oh, yeah, that's
Right.
Deuce Bigelow.
yeah.
You remember the movie The Guy?
The
guy who owns the fish tanks? He's got the
I
long
think so,
hair.
yeah,
He looks just
yeah.
like that guy.
He does look like that guy.
Oh, I don't know what he looks like, but he's super hot. And he's not my usual sort that I get crushes on. But
Under 25?
Yes, but I didn't feel guilty. You know why I didn't feel guilty? Because Kristen Cavalli is dating a 24-year-old now that used to be married to Jay Cutler, Laguna Beach. Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cavallari.
Cavallari, yeah. Kristen Cavallari. And
Calamari, what?
she's getting a lot of shit for it. I'm like, leave the girl alone. Who cares?
Wait, how old is she?
She's younger than me, but I don't know.
People need to get over that. Older
I'm like,
women dating younger guys.
I'm not like I don't go much older, and I tend to date younger, but like, who cares? Let somebody live their life. Everybody's opinionated, yelling at her. I'm just like, if they're happy, they're happy. If they break up, that's for her to deal with. What do you give a shit? You don't pay her bills. You don't. People just need to get over being mad all the time. Like, just be happy for people. If it's not hurting you, what's the bother?
Yeah.
Why do you care? Why do you want to be like, oh my God, she's successful and she shouldn't be doing? Why?
But who are the people who usually say that?
People online,
People with too much time on their hands.
I guess.
I guess. Miserable people.
I mean, I'm just learning that the older you get, like all the misconceptions you have of like how you should behave a certain way when you're a certain age. It's like until you don't get there, you don't really understand. Like,
well, that's how we're ending today. So I don't want to go too far into that. But anyway, back to Sam Hartman. Sam, you are
Hartman.
hot as shit. God.
Hartman, right?
There were other pictures I didn't, but this was recent at the combine. So I was like, my, and he's over 6 feet.
Look at that. She is going younger. You're right, Julio.
Yep.
I traded in Travis for a younger model. Whatever.
She went with tan Travis with long hair.
These are my crushes. They're innocent crushes. Oh my God. These are the guys I never want to meet in person because I feel like it would let me down. Like I would be like, oh, they open their mouth. I would be like, oh, don't like you.
I don't know. Notre Dame, he's like probably like 6'2" or something.
You know, he's over 6 feet. I looked it up. Did I
that's what
write
I'm
it
saying.
down?
He's like 6'2".
Where's he being supposedly drafted to?
Notre Dame. Oh, I'm sorry.
He's like the 6th round.
I forget
sixth
I
pick.
forget where. I'm sorry. I didn't write
Jessica's
that down.
drafting him to herself.
I'm gonna draft you right here. It's a good old DMV. Can you come to the Commanders? Hook it up, Commanders. Give me a chance.
You never know. Remember, this is a mock draft. You
I
never
am
know.
49 years old.
No, I'm saying he might come to the Commanders.
You might like older women too. Like who's that one guy?
They want babies, guys. It's a hard no. Just let me have my fantasy of looking at the man. I don't find many guys.
You had
like
to ruin it
super
with
hot.
children.
Kids
Everything
ruin
was
it.
great until you
Kids
said
ruin
children.
everything. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. And then on deck, coming up, we have March Madness, which I'm a huge fan of. Not sure the good old Maryland Terrapins will make it in there because they are my favorite. I did look up, their possible to get picked to be in the tournament on Selection Sunday. I don't know. I don't know what I was reading. I mean, I was looking at their record and blah, blah. I'm pretty good with stats, but I honestly didn't know what I was reading.
Well, more and more, it's like there seems to be less of a favorite team now. Like the last couple of years, before you saw it would be like Duke or Michigan or whatever.
Yeah.
Kansas, like main teams are always favorite. Now it's like
Yeah.
up for grabs.
I love I love basketball. I love sports, period. But I love basketball. I really love, it's the one college sport I really get into is college basketball. And I'm a huge Terps fan. I loved when they won. I cried my eyes
I know,
out.
that was insane.
I'll go.
And I love doing my bracket. I kind of went off from it for the last, I'd say probably 7 years.
Yeah, same
But
here.
I'm going to do a bracket
I was gonna
this
ask you
year
that.
because I've always been really good at, I do my research and I try to pick and I've won a few times. So
We should all do a bracket each, and then also like
we should do Tribe Called Jess brackets. Can we
Yeah.
do that, Jeff?
for March Madness.
Yes.
I swear, if I even guess one right,
Can our viewers pay to get in our bracket? We have a pot. Is that legal?
is that legal?
That I don't know.
Well, we need to
I'd
find
have
out.
to check.
I
We
call
should-
dibs on the junkies.
We should go do go to MGM and put a bet down for fun.
Yeah, I'll always bet. I love
Yeah, but I'm saying
betting.
that'll be fun. Go to MGM
Yeah.
and do that.
Yeah.
I've never bet on sports, so I think that would be a cool thing
I
to
do. I do. This was actually the first year I haven't bet on any sports at all. But I
Did you
do
bet on the
okay.
Super Bowl?
No, that's why I said it's the first year. Well, 2023.
Literally,
where I
she just said, "I haven't bet this year." Why did you bet?
Are you paying attention?
I know.
You're thinking ahead to two subjects from now. I know what you're doing, Frankie.
I bet you $5 Frankie's not listening right now.
Not at all. Another thing, real quick, before we get into it, my favorite quote of the week was Taylor too. She was in Singapore and it was real humid. And she comes out during cruel summer and her hair is all smooth and pretty. And by the time she gets to, I don't know, midway, and it's a 3.5 hour show, she goes, "My hair has returned to its factory settings." It's all pretty
so
and
funny.
curly. And so I'm like, from now on in summer, whenever my hair gets, real curly,
Yeah.
I'm going to say that my hair's back at factory settings.
Factory setting. Your eyebrows when you get them done.
They're back at. I'm excited. I think it's going to look cool.
Since you mentioned Taylor, we haven't talked about her in a while. I know people are always saying, "Oh, their prices are so this and that," dude. But her shows are like amazing. Like it ain't like 1, 2 hours, like 3.5 hours. People are just singing and having a good time. She's having a blast.
I want to go to the Miami show so
Shoot.
badly.
The opening act is really good too.
So,
Serena Carpenter.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it
Yeah.
depends. I think the opening act is different wherever she goes. Anyway, we don't need to get
they
into that.
sent her a reel with this girl's like scream. This guy's like, "I paid to go see Taylor," and there was like a 12-year-old,
Oh,
just like
screaming.
like-
but
like a banshee.
she was screaming like a hyena the whole time. Yeah. I
Damn.
mean, but look, imagine being 12. I told Frankie, imagine being 12 and, you're so excited. I mean, I can still feel that little girl inside me, but I really want to try and go see her in Miami in October.
I know. I think we're
Okay, like thinking back real quick, who would have been like the big artist when you were 12 that would have you screaming at your top of your lungs like that?
Maybe not 12. Debbie Gibson, Tiffany, Madonna for sure.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Michael Jackson was like
I
insane.
mean, I saw Michael when I was in my late 20s, early 30s. So, but back when I was young, I mean, those, what are they called? What was that boy band? I saw them.
New Kids on the Block.
Yes.
New Kids?
The New Kids on the Block. Menudo.
Menudo was
What?
big too,
Remember
yeah.
Menudo? Anybody watching?
international.
That's taking it way back.
Damn, Jess.
I loved Menudo. So yeah, I mean, I get it. It's annoying. It's
Yeah.
annoying, but I mean, she's a kid.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I was there with my kid, I would have just like, okay, hon, like sing, but tone it down just a little bit.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be the one screaming at the top of your lungs.
Okay, I stay correct. It would have been the other way around.
I guarantee
Dad,
if
stop
Frank-
screaming like a 12-year-old girl.
I guarantee it'd be Frankie at
Oh, yeah,
at a
hands
concert, getting on everybody's nerves, and they'd be going up and everybody exchanging friendship bracelets the entire time. As would I. I can't say I wouldn't. I would.
He might just be in Miami.
I'll be.
in Miami.
I want to make friendship bracelets on the show for my birthday.
Oh, you did say that.
I
I'm going to
do.
be like, shut up. I identify as a 12-year-old girl.
That's funny. All right, guys. So it is. So now that we're done all that, let's get into it. We are in Women's History Month, the month of March, and celebrating women.
Women.
Women may be complex, but we're not as complicated as you make us. And I think, don't even say it. Go ahead, say it. I thought Jeff was going to give me crap. We're not as complicated as you make us.
Yeah.
Women are pretty easy if we feel appreciated and respected. Unfortunately, that just doesn't always happen. We have our flaws too. Back to men. But firstly, I want to start this out because I think oftentimes as women, we forget to thank the men, the many men in the world, our friends, our husbands, our brothers, cousins, that it's without you, standing by us, standing with us, and standing for us, we would never be where we are today. And I inherently believe that. So thank you to the men that have helped us along the way, because at one point in life, it's a lot easier right now to stand by women, right? But at one point back in the 60s and the 50s and the 70s, you were going against the grain as a man to stand up for and advocate for women. So I think that we need to always remember to thank the men out there for helping us along. And I wanted to start this segment out with 2 quotes, and then you guys, and some nice things that women on Facebook, who a lot of my friends, put to our younger girls. But I did want to say this. One is from a song, Marjorie, speaking of Taylor Swift. And I've been, me, I've been missing my grandpa so much lately. Like, it's almost been a year June, and I just miss him. So she wrote that song to her grandma when she passed away, about her grandma, I'm sorry. And a great line in there is, never be too kind or never be too clever or too kind that you forget to be clever, and never be too clever that you forget to be kind, and never be too polite that you forget your power, but never wield so much power that you forget to be polite. Taking that back to what you said. And I think it's important to always, and I think what that speaks is to be assertive, to be those things, but to remember all the gentle things about you at the same time. And the other quote I have to read with my glasses on, guys. Don't make fun of me. My smeared up glasses. Let me see. But I thought it was so good to sum up women, what we need. We need women who are so strong, they can be gentle, so educated, they can be humble, so fierce, they can be compassionate, and so compassionate, they can be rational, and so rational that they can be free, or so disciplined that they can be free. And I thought that was a really just way to sum up, because I think a lot of times, and we've talked about hyper-independence on the show, and the ways in women have gotten their independence. Sometimes we get hyper-independent in mind, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's important for us to continue the great work of people that have what do you call it, blazed the trail for women. I mean, I always want young girls to look up to women like me and older than me, and think, I mean, especially older than me and have passed on, right? And the work they did to get you to the freedoms you have today. I don't think you can understand that, but always appreciate your rights as a woman. But never get so on the side of hyper independence in terms of getting that mindset that you forget the great things about being a woman.
Yeah.
There's a softness to being a woman. And so I encourage you to remember that. Women, it wasn't until the 70s they could get a mortgage by themselves. I was born in 1975. Think about that. Like, there's just so many things, I say me too, and I walk that trail lightly. But, there were so many times with women when we were on the come up of our age that we dealt with a lot of things that are intolerable now because strong women stood up and I take a two-way stance on me too, right? So I don't want to get into that. But thank God for the women that did. And thank God for strong women that were able to look people in the face and say, no, 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 no. But I also encourage my older women, my age and older or 40s, don't ever look at young women or men for that matter and think that their voices don't matter. They bring new ideas. They bring fresh perspective. Change is always good and it's always imminent. They need to be seen and they need to be heard. And they bring you energy. And when you bring energy, you can feed off that energy as an older, I say older person, but at 49, I mean, next year, half a century, guys. And hanging out and perspectives of young people. I might not always agree, but I love the energy and the passion and some of the even naivete that goes along with that.
Yeah.
What do you
agree.
think? I know you guys wanted to say something nice about women.
Well, first of all, I know you when you say only 1970, but it's a while ago. Okay, I know you're getting old.
Ha ha.
But that
ha.
being said, women who have been trailblazers, we always know that the person who's always like the pioneer, they never really get the praise, right? Or necessarily reap the rewards. They're the ones that are like the brave ones who set a precedent, right? Who challenge what's there. And eventually, years later, you see changes, right? And then the next generation is the one that gets the benefit from it.
Amen.
So one thing that I do admire about women is their resiliency, just no matter how tough it is. And women have been oppressed since who knows when, no matter the obstacles, resilient. They don't give up. They're tough, whether they're, single, whether by the single moms or what, when the West was being formed, right? When everybody was going out West, women were there with their husbands going out there. Sometimes they were by themselves. Like, women have always, been pioneers on their own in different times, in history.
I think a great strength of women, too, I can tell you this personally. I pulled over, and it astounds me as a woman, like, because I don't know many men that do this, but I could be wrong. I will pull over the side of the road and cry for an hour, get my shit back together, and go to the gym or walk in work or walk in a meeting or go out with my friends, and never a word. It's just deal with it, get it out. And like you said, the beautiful resilience of people, but of women is incredible. What about you, Julio?
Women are awesome.
Really?
Yeah, they're incredible. They're so strong-willed, and it takes a lot to be a woman. Like, I see my nieces growing up and how they have to deal with like something like a period cramps and all that, and I'm like, have a hangover and I can't move the next day. But they have to deal with that with. It's not like just like one day. It's like a couple of days, and the way you just power through it's like, man. The world's not ready for these.
It's good you acknowledge that, actually, because I think it's such a faux pas subject, like what women go through from labor to PMS to periods to perimenopause to birth to menopause, and then we, of course, have to deal with men. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, yeah, being a woman is just, on top of stress and working full time and gym. I mean, look, it's life, it's beauty, but I love that you say that. And I think I love the women in my life. I love watching them thrive. I love when they are in a bad kind of way and watching them pick themselves up. I love when they've watched me do it and said, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And let me tell you something. And this is why I always say no mean girling. Stop being mean to women on women. Stop being mean to other women. God, when men might go to war, when we form an army that is unbeatable when we have each other's back. But we all got to have each other's back. So,
I mean, I admire women and love them so much that, as strong as they are, women are so special that they should be protected. That's how I feel. That's how I am. That's why I'm like happy to have daughters. I wish I had a sister growing up, right?
But I did.
We know Frankie was the sister. I don't want to cut you off, but I do want to move it along real quick. I did ask the question of 40-something and older, give advice to your younger women. And that is posted on my Tribe Called Jess Facebook page, as well as if you scroll down on my Jessica regular Facebook page. Yeah. You can see the advice women gave. But I wanted to point out a few good ones because so many women took the time to give their feedback. Of course, boundaries. I thought this was a really good one. Follow your dreams, your passions, even if they don't last long, because time keeps going. And I really like that. What you allow will continue. Let's see. You're not obligated to be polite to a man when they're hitting on you or that's making you feel creeped out. And I like that one because I will tell you, my younger self was always like, okay, we're not talking about like if you're in an office and you just feel uncomfortable because you're like, I don't want to lose my job, like that, or anytime. I'm just saying. I want to get into that discussion, and then learn to be alone. And I'll tell you, for me, that's a big one. Learn to be alone. I taught myself that at a young age, and if you can learn to be alone with yourself, and the advice I would give to women, so much, I would give so much. I could sit here all day. Is self-love should be your very first love. And I didn't learn how to do that until I was 47 years old. And if I can have one woman learn to do it, then I hope that advice makes a difference. And persistence. I was never persistent. Now I'm really persistent. Be persistent. Don't tell someone you're nagging or annoying. If it's important, be persistent. It's how you will accomplish things. So.
Yeah, well, along those lines, I wanted to ask you, since we were talking about how, women have been trailblazers and there's more rights and freedoms nowadays, I wanted to ask you, how do you feel you have benefited from living in the time that you're living now, right? You have more rights, you have more freedom. How do you feel you've taken advantage of that or use it to your benefit? And how would you give, what advice would you give women because of that era you've lived in?
I think I'll keep this answer brief, but maybe I'll elaborate. I do want to elaborate this more on the next show just for time purposes.
Yeah, that's fine.
I had the fortunate in terms of how this thought comes out of living in a split generation, right? Mm-hmm. So it was still kind of as I was entering 80s, 90s, and as it got more progressive, women got more and more and more and more. Now I have the honor of living now where we have a lot of work to do, right? We have a lot of work to do. But I can tell you right now, to answer your question, it afforded me the right to be here to say what I say, because I don't think I would be accepted if other women Ellen, Chelsea Handler, people like that get on and say and be exactly who they are and say offhanded shit and it be accepted but still remain true and good, right?
Yeah.
So I do feel fortunate in that way. There's so many things I could say about this. I mean, I've owned 1, 2, 3, 4 houses. To be able to do that, I think just different things I've been able to do in my life. But I would love to explore that further. Yeah. Anything to wrap this up, Julio, so we can get into OnlyFans?
Who's your favorite OnlyFans? No, okay. That's a great segue, right? Talking about all these strong women, that we've seen in the past, who was one of a strong role model for you?
Oprah Winfrey. with hands down. I can't. I was so alone. Some days I don't. I was never suicidal. I wouldn't say that, but I feel like I probably could have turned out very different if I hadn't had the Oprah show 4:00 every day when I got home from school. And the things she had on her show, the advice, the guidance. I've written her a letter before to say thank you. And I didn't expect it back. I want her to know, if she ever hears this, that without her, I don't know if I would have made it the way I made it. And yeah, Oprah, someone who inspires me now, I have to be honest, and not for the reason you think is Taylor Swift. She embodies love and kindness. If you could just listen, people would just listen to her interview. She embodies the ability to speak up and stand up for the things she believes in. And those are good lessons. And she lets little girls and boys and women and men be able to express their feelings through the words of her songs. And she preaches acceptance of self. Just be who you are and accept yourself. And so she inspires me, and she's younger than me, and I think she's an incredible human being.
Yeah, we know she's way younger than you. We know that.
We know. No, they all are.
She has something you don't have.
Huh?
She has something you don't have. Travis.
What? I know. She has Travis. That's fucked up. Never mind. I take it all back. All right, guys. All right. Anyway, love you women. I wanted to take the time to do it because I know we have Wylde shows coming up, and that's not going to be subjects, and I think it's so important.
Real quick before we move on, shout out to the U.S. women's team who's
US
in the semifinals right now for the Copa de Oro.
Gold Cup.
And Frankie, what do you have on tonight?
Oh yeah, my daughter's high school, Quince Orchard, softball season.
Go. I won't say her name because I don't want to shout out her name, but
go Cougars.
We're rooting. Frankie goes, "It's where the Cougars go," and then laughs at me. I'm like,
well,
what?
Their mascot is the Cougars.
I prefer
and
Puma.
I'm bringing Jessica as my mascot.
See what I go through? I prefer the word Puma.
Why does that sound dirtier than Cougar?
It's hotter. I think it sounds way hotter. Don't you?
I'm banning it.
So while we're speaking of hot, this week I put on, all right, let's get to it. I put
to
on
it.
Facebook, I put it out there. I asked everybody, do you have, we're going to talk about OnlyFans. Would you date someone on OnlyFans? What do you think about OnlyFans? Do you use OnlyFans? And let me tell you how we started going down this rabbit hole. Jeff and I were on a call. Again, we talked a lot last week. And he told me the story of Drea De Matteo. And if you know Drea De Matteo, if you watch The Sopranos, she is 52 years old. And she, at one point, she did something, and I don't want to bring it up so it doesn't start controversy, that got her blackballed from the acting industry. I don't agree you should blackball someone from their work if you're very good at their work for anything. So I don't like that. But either way, she couldn't get work. She supports 2 kids fully, her family fully. Not only that, she had one mother die. She has 2 moms, I'm assuming a stepmom. The other one had dementia. She was providing full care for her. She owned her houses, and she was down, I didn't read $10, but to her last leg. Her one house in LA was in forbearance. And she was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So originally her and her husband, I didn't realize it was her husband, we're going to go on and, like do behind a paywall, like him rubbing her feet or whatever, right? And one day she talked to her kids and they said, just go for it. She released her OnlyFans in August of 2023. And within, literally, I went to several articles. I wanted to make sure I got this right. 5 minutes, she was able to pay off her house and get it out of forbearance. In 5 minutes,
I see why.
Her net worth as of Sunday, when I looked it up, was $4 million net worth. So after everything else, she makes an average of $885,000 a month, or maybe it was that day. So she may even make more, right? And I mean, I was just like, holy shit. Then Frankie and I were talking, and I found a lady who was pregnant. She's in the UK. She's no longer pregnant. She had the baby, but she was smart and stockpiled photos. her in a bikini. Now behind the paywall, I don't know if she did like nudity or whatever of her 9 months pregnant. And the lady, what did she make? $1 million a month or $1 million that year?
Oh, it was crazy numbers.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And she was smart and stockpiled the photos and keeps posting them even now and is making ridiculous money. I've had several people contact me and tell me that they either use, and we're going to get to this, but who are on OnlyFans that are making ridiculous money a year, more than $1 million. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're talking big money. So I had this wrong because I thought OnlyFans it was starting in the UK, video hosting platform, and then 2020 it turned into this acronym. What is this acronym, Frankie? Not safe for work. NSFW is what that stands for, and which often is like lingo for pornography or sex.
Well, I asked
workers.
Julio. I was like, "What does that mean?" Because Julio has to follow his HR. What does it mean, Julio? Not safe,
Not
for,
safe
work,
for work.
which means
Just
you
literally just said it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying more.
Well, it's
Talk
not
about more. It meant like I didn't understand what that meant. What does that mean?
Oh yeah, it's like something that you shouldn't be watching in public.
Yeah.
correct.
Okay. I didn't know.
Correct.
I didn't click till he explained it. That's what I'm trying to say.
So before I get to the feedback, because I feel like in this case it is super, super important to understand the statistics of OnlyFans,
Yeah.
right? So I got to the rabbit hole by Jeff's conversation with Drea De Matteo, right? That blows my mind, dude. Dude, if I could do it, oh my God, just blows my mind. And I've gotten asked more this week because of these posts if I had an OnlyFans. No, guys, I do not have an OnlyFans.
Now, yeah, we're all going to open one. The
I-
tribe's going to open.
I do appreciate the compliments. One guy told me I'd make $1 billion. I'm like, highly doubt it, but thank you.
Why don't we, give it a chance?
I think.
See if you can make $1 billion. Why?
Look, let me tell you, I am no judgment zone. I will not bash anyone. I do what you want. You're not hurting anybody. People are paying you to be there.
Yeah.
That's not your problem, right? And I don't care what you do in life as long as you're not hurting another human. And I've heard people say, well, my boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever was on there. I'm like, well, that was their choice.
Yeah.
That the person behind the paywall is there. They chose to go on an app called OnlyFans. And if they chose to do that, whether it's that or it's Playboy or it's this or it's that, or you went to a strip club or whatever that is your partner's choice. And it's not the fault of the person. Period. It's not. And so I'm a no judgment zone person. But I found these statistics interesting. It has 2.1 million creators, 190 million consumers, 300 million who visit the site total, 500,000 new users per month, a day. I'm sorry. Now, that doesn't mean they subscribe. That means that's the statistic of them going
The traffic
to the
going
page.
through there, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Still the top dogs are Black China, Tyga, Cardi B are still on there. Obviously, music, fitness, and cooking is actually a big one on there as well.
Yeah, we discussed this that OnlyFans wasn't always just like.
But the mainstay is the
Now it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, this I found crazy: 69% are male.
69.
I hope we keep it there.
69.
I hope we keep it at that
I
rate.
love how they got it right at 69.
Yeah.
And then 31% are women. And when they deep dove down into the men, most of them are white married men that identify as pansexual, heterosexual, or bisexual. I found that fascinating. Nice. Not shocking, but fascinating. And Forbes put out an article, and then we'll get into the dirt, that they did they said the mental health repercussions of famous OnlyFans women are far greater than their male counterparts, meaning that if they go for other work or criticism or anything, they're less likely to get it, but men will, which ties back into Women's History Month. Because if a man can get a job after showing his wiener up on there, why can't a woman get after showing her parts up on there? It shouldn't be like that.
Because they're going to pay the guy not to show it again.
It doesn't matter what it is. You can't tell one it's okay and one it's okay. And then,
Yeah.
So let's start off with, what do you guys think of all that information I just fed you? Let's start there.
I'm just so happy I'm part of that 69%.
Are you on OnlyFans?
No, I'm not.
You're not? You've never been? Have you
I
subscribed?
have checked it out,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's
Have you
interesting.
subscribed to any? Have you subscribed to any?
I did subscribe to
What
maybe
happened?
2.
Tell us. Why did you bring this up?
Okay, why did I bring it up? Hey, I've subscribed to like 2 OnlyFans creators. Yeah, that's a conversation starter right there. But
And
I mean,
what was behind the paywall?
I mean, you read the bios and they're like, oh, I do this, and that.
Well, like
And,
what?
like,
this,
you know,
this and that is nothing.
Okay, so I mean, depending on the content creator, they'll either just do nude photos or videos, but then some actually do, like sexual content. And then if you're a subscriber for like your subscription renews automatically, you'll get like a free video of them doing something sexual. And then there's people that just play by themselves, and there's other people that do content with other creators. And then just depending on the type of content depends on the price. Now, just because you're subscribed doesn't also mean that you're going to be able to access everything.
Correct. I read that and I have notes on that.
Yeah.
too.
So certain videos, that last like a certain amount of time, or if it's with someone else, you have to pay extra to get access to that stuff.
Right.
Oh, so you can buy the subscription that gives you the access, and then within the access, there's other stuff
access.
you can purchase.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
one guy was telling me, so thank you to all the guys. And I want to make the girl comment, but in reference to this specifically. So the example he gave me was, okay, so you go in and you can have the nude photos of the lady, right?
Yeah.
And then there'll be another paywall that says, watch me give my husband a blowjob, or my boyfriend, watch me masturbate, play with myself. There was another one too. Like, he just gave examples, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this gets like deep, some of it. And I was curious, I put it out there when I was having these conversations with my friends that are male that were, users of OnlyFans. I said, do you think if you're just nude or, doing like one of these, you know what I mean, or bikini, lingerie shots, making content like sexy, like cooking. I think one of the examples I used, cooking with an apron with a thong and a bra. Are you making money? And they're like, I mean, you'll make money, but you're not going to make big money. Would you agree, Jeff?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and breaking news. I'm doing research here, and we have OnlyFans on the computer, but I have no idea how to work it.
Julio had a subscription. He can come help you.
I'm on my way, Jeff.
He's on
Can't you
his way.
pay? They also charge like per message and
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it
then
is-
if you want like
it's-
like
yeah.
personalized content made, also they'll charge you a certain fee, and then
Like, you could text. They'll text you. You'll pay for text.
oh yeah, there's some
and
people
stuff
that
I
like
heard
give like a
communication was a big one, and some women. There's one lady that
Lonely
makes
bastards.
well over millions a year, and I did not write this down, that just does the messaging with the men. And one of them was like, oh, I did that, but it took me 2 hours a day. I was like, if all I had to do was work 2 hours a day with messaging and make millions of dollars for 2 hours a day, shit, I've been working since 4 a.m. I'm like, damn.
there was a creator like about a month ago. She cleared, I think it was like 30 or 40,000 in 1 month from one person, just from tips, messages, gifts, trying to get to, I guess, the next tier to be her focal point.
God damn.
It's insane how much some people will have.
yeah, and then depending how popular you are, you're like ranked like in the like top like 0.5% or some nonsense like that.
God damn. God.
I mean,
Don't
it's
even
always-
look at me, Jeff's like, do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's always
Come
about
on, Oshi,
goals.
I'm
only
not
pause.
doing it.
I mean, but everybody has
You
their
would need that
goals,
corporate
right?
job.
Now sign up for research.
No.
That's what I signed up for.
Yeah, I
knew
was
we were
trying to
gonna talk about this
research.
eventually.
I was trying to research the person that contacted you on Facebook.
Oh,
I have no
Oh.
idea how to find it. Like,
I know how.
Which post was this?
I've never subscribed to OnlyFans. I
have it on right
I
here.
will never pay to see a wiener, but I wouldn't. I would not pay to see a wiener.
I haven't subscribed
And
to any
I wish
either.
girls. So I had one girl respond to me, and I do want to say this because the consensus all around, and you guys tell me real quick, would you date someone that had an active OnlyFans?
Okay, Jess, can we make sure that Frankie answers this episode and doesn't do like a 3-part series on it?
I know, right? Remember, Jeff, remember when we asked Frankie if he'd date a porn star and it took him 3 weeks to figure it out?
Yes.
I still don't know if he would or wouldn't. And the answer we got, well, they would get jealous because the girls would talk to me. I'm like, what? What? This is the rational reasoning you came up with of why you wouldn't date a porn star?
3 weeks of dating got him that far.
Would you?
It depends on the content creator. Like what kind of content they're putting out.
All right, let's cut to the chase. What content would you not date?
Like if she was with another guy doing content.
Behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Okay, but otherwise,
I'm down for it. Let's go.
you wouldn't be jealous. You wouldn't.
No, I
No?
wouldn't be. No, girl, get that money. We gotta pay rent.
Yeah. There was some, I will say, there were several guys that said, look, and surprising, some of the ones that told me are like much more conservative thinking, married, great guy, like loyal, not, and that's judgy on my behalf, but profiling, I guess, with the type of male, because I think it's across the board, right? I mean, people look at me the way I dress sometimes and same thing. So it's very judgy of me to say that. But he was like, get your money. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I'd support. I'll take her wherever she needs to go. You know, we need a new ring light. Let's get a new ring light.
Yeah. So for me personally, I'm a guy. So it has nothing to do with the like what guy, like I could never date a girl because she's doing that. For me, like whenever I've seen a male stripper or any of that, like I'm like, can you just get your fucking wiener out of my face? Like, get away from me. I'm that girl at that party, right? So it's gross in a different way to me. Nothing to do with the sexuality or the jealousy or judging the career. I'm just like, ew.
Don't most women think like the male genitalia is disgusting anyway?
No.
I'm saying them. Not all of them, but don't most.
But I don't want a dick in my face when you're stripping at a bachelorette party. I mean, especially the veiny,
But Jess, would you prefer a dick in the box? A dick in a
Dick
box?
in the Box. God, that was such a fun song. But all in all, if it would really depend on the man.
Yes or no, Jessica?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I would, but it would depend on the man. I probably would never meet a guy on OnlyFans for sure. And I think there's probably less content. But yeah, probably I would. If I liked him, he was in good moral character. And his
Good moral character.
If his name was
Sex?
Bradley
Hold on.
Pittsburgh.
I'm going to go back to this, and I knew this would come up. Sex and this type of stuff does not equal morality. It's their acceptable morality to them, but it doesn't mean they have bad character. Doesn't mean they're not taking care of their kids, because this is mostly coming back on women, of course, driven by men, who's the consumers. Let me not forget. And mainly. Same thing with body count. I'll come back to it every time, because look at Drea Mateo. She was. We all respect her on Sopranos. Great actress. She won a Emmy for that. She won an Emmy for her character on The Sopranos. She's an excellent actress. She got down and she did what she had to do to take care of her family, and now she's like, I don't even care.
Yeah, but was she having sex on the OnlyFans?
I don't subscribe to her, Frankie. I don't know.
That's what I'm
But
saying,
she
so
is
we
in
don't know how far she
compromising
went.
position. No, she is full nude for sure. I don't know the videos she puts out. If anybody knows that's listening, let me know.
Before I forget, I wanted to say something. Do you remember when famous people were starting to get on OnlyFans, and then
Bella Thorne.
normal people got upset because they felt like they were taking their income away?
Well, famous people, the most paid are artists
Yeah,
on there.
but
Still
do
to
you
this
remember that,
day.
right? Who
Yeah,
did-
Bella
I
Thorne.
don't-
She was the one that started it,
Bella
right?
Thorne, and she went on. Bella Thorne made a ridiculous amount.
Yeah,
of
she
money,
made like
and
$1 million in one day,
in
or
one
less
day.
than like
it was less than
yeah.
a day. Yeah, Bella
Yeah, but
Thorne.
then everybody else was upset.
And
Like
Bella
everybody else.
Thorne-
was
And then the
on it.
subscribers were upset because she wasn't nude.
Bella Thorne got
It was a
off
whole
of it
thing.
and has gone on to do other things. I did read about her. She still is the top dog to this day, I think, statistically. Would you date or not? Because we got to get through.
Yeah, I would.
You would?
I used to always say no to that. I'm like, oh, wait, not here.
Now you get older, you're like, I don't give a fuck.
At this point, I'm like, just
Yeah.
I've dated
Jeff?
strippers. I never thought I
Jeff,
would.
would you?
That's true.
Of course.
Yeah. John, if you were not a married man in a different world, would you?
Yeah.
You would? Yeah. So most men, I will say, said no. And let me read this. The one
Liars.
Let me ask the question,
hold
though.
on. No. I need to get.
Okay,
I
I have a
can't.
question about that, though.
But the one woman, hold on, guys. Remember, I'm blind. So
Wait.
the one woman who responded to me, who is a very supportive woman, and she always will tell me, she's like, and I'm bent against men. Like she tells me, but she had a good, I liked what she put together. She said, men will always sit and judge woman for having an sit and judge a woman for having an OnlyFans, but literally are the ones paying for consuming the same content. It's a war against women. They have no problem with sexualizing us, but God forbid we monetize it. It put in
Sounds like an
different
envy
words.
thing.
Hold on. Men who are criticizing women on OnlyFans or women that are, but men, because they are the largest consumers, if we went to 70, it would sound a lot bigger than 69, right?
No, 69 sounds better.
She has a valid point because you have no problem consuming the content, the same content that you're putting a woman down for. And then you have no problem sexualizing us, meaning viewing the content, saying, oh, baby, you're so hot or whatever you say in there. I don't know. But God forbid we monetize it. What's the problem? And what do men feel about men on there? And so I want to make that point because I just get so angry when it's such I feel like it's hypocritical.
You know what? It might be projecting because
that's probably what it
you know
is.
what it is? It's the guys probably feel whatever word you want to use, shame or guilt, because they're paying for it. You see what I'm saying? So it's them feeling they wish they can get that for free, but since they can't, they're paying for it. So that hits their ego. They feel a little shameful for it. Because I know a lot of guys will be like, I'm not gonna pay for that, like this or that. Like, God forbid I ever pay for this or, at a strip club or to hook up with somebody. But they'll say stuff like that. They'll trash the woman and be like, oh, you shouldn't be taking money, blah, blah, blah.
Well, and the other thing, I ask guys, you won't date an OnlyFans. I asked everybody, but because you won't date an OnlyFans, but besides the porn stuff, and I get that, only because it's not allowed, but you can actually subscribe now on Instagram, and I don't know what they allow behind their paywall. So I have no idea what goes. I honestly haven't gotten to the subscription thing with the TikToks or the Instagrams, but a lot of likewise content, right? At least the initial landing page content, right, is the same shit on Instagram. Instagram pushes the envelope every day. Again, not judging. I'm in a bikini on my Instagram in some pictures. Now, I think everybody posts for different reasons, but I think that's another show because I got into that with a few guys. Not in a bad way. They're my friends. But I said, so you will date a girl on Instagram posting all this shit, but you won't date an OnlyFans, an entrepreneur who's capitalizing on the same shit. Now, granted, I get what you're saying where you draw the line at, I don't wonder if she's having sex with other gentlemen. I get anybody who draws their own line. But we can't be hypocritical here, guys. Can't be we can't and then somebody else said OnlyFans, I don't want to be with this was one of the best conversations. I wish I could read it out. It was one of my good friends. And he's like, I just don't want to share a girl like that. I feel like that's attention seeking. And I'm like, no, that's entrepreneurship. Like, we're all attention seeking, right? If people are out in their nice new car, their great new boat, or me and I'm showing the podcast studio because I'm proud. It's attention seeking. It's not bad. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'll tell you what, the real question is this. Will they still date a OnlyFans worker if they weren't making that much money? They still doing all that stuff, but they aren't getting paid that well. Would that change things?
Well, almost, guy. You're saying would somebody date it if they're making a ton of money? So if I'm making,
is the money the reason you'll accept it?
Well, no, they were saying they don't accept it.
No, but those who do, right? Like, oh yeah, of course they could do that because they're making all this money. But how about if they really weren't? How about if they're just making enough to pay the rent?
The average
enough
person,
to pay their car note.
The average basic person makes $180 a month. $180 a month. You have a bunch of them making over $100K, then it goes up from there. And it all is based off promiscuity. I talked to some today that are making $5 million a year. A couple.
Yeah, but there's got to. What are the low numbers?
$180 a month.
$180 a month.
Dang.
Yeah.
Then why do it?
Well, you're not doing it right.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Look, I think to each their own. I don't judge people.
Yeah.
100 years from now, no one's going to remember us. Maybe they'll see your OnlyFans video, or maybe they'll see this podcast, but most likely, and they'll use it as a social studies project or science project to go, what the fuck was wrong with people back then? But 100 years from now, nobody's going to remember. Do what you want to do as long as you're not hurting anybody else, right? And, you know, I judge no one. I know girls that are on OnlyFans. I don't think they know that I know. I know through, and I could care less. Doesn't make me. I think they're wonderful women. I think they're great mothers. I think they're kind, and they're doing it for the reasons they need to do it to support their family. A lot of women do it so they can make money to start other businesses.
Yeah.
Kudos to fucking them.
I mean, there's been like.
Use what you got.
But when do you?
What is it? Use what you got to get what you want.
But then when do you stop though? Like let's say I want to do it because I want to buy a house, right? And then I do.
Maybe they don't.
Then I continue.
Well, you guys can pay the house, the mortgage.
The lady Jeff's referencing who commented on, she's done it for the last 4 years as her full-time job, and she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
A friend of mine just told me that he's dating an OnlyFans girl.
Oh yeah, I have a couple. God, I could go down a rabbit hole. What I really want to do is put out in the world. I'd love to have a guest, a lady guest, even a male guest that's on OnlyFans.
A content creator?
A content creator that would love to come sit and I can interview you, obviously the tribe. And we don't bash guys, all due respect. I won't allow it on this show.
I won't get starstruck, I promise.
Man, you know what? Let me create one and open one just so I can tell you how it is and how much I make.
Frank, all right, guys, I would love to go on and on and on about this because I think we could have such a deeper discussion. Any last thoughts, Jeff?
But we got to go because we're about to go open up our own OnlyFans.
Sorry, I was distracted. John's telling me people are calling.
Oh. What happened?
They hung up. It's okay. You're good.
If you call back in. I want people
Your
to
phone
call.
was blowing up earlier when you were talking about women's empowerment, and they wanted to talk about OnlyFans. So we.
Oh, you should have just.
Yeah, but the guy who saw it earlier, he's going into a basketball game or something right now, so he couldn't call back.
Oh, who is it?
Was it
George? Something?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was going to a hockey game.
Oh, next time that happens, just let them through to give their comment. And then I can talk to them.
He was so close
That's
again.
fine. That's fine. So real quick, I have a reel, and then we'll wrap it up right after the reel. Can you play the reel? Let me set this up for you. This is a young lady talking about women over 40, and I just love this.
Over 40 bitches do not need to be wearing pigtails.
It's coming, guys. It's coming. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe.
Just save the content for the OnlyFans.
Your shirt should say "strong her" with the H.
Oh, that'd be cool. That's a great shirt.
I just came to me when I saw
40
it.
bitches do not need to be wearing pigtails, side ponytails.
Okay, little sis. Big sis checking in. 50-year-old big sis, just to be clear. Now, I know I don't have any ponytails, baby hairs, or buns or anything, but I do have some wisdom I want to share with you. Because I get a lot of shit about my hair. I know you're too young to know what you don't know. So I'm going to take you to school, okay? Pay attention. You don't have the experience behind you yet to understand that when you reach a certain point in life, you no longer give a fuck what people think about you. That right there, baby girl, is magic. You wear what you want, look how you want, act how you want, say what you want, and wear your hair however the fuck you want. And do you know why? Because you can. You earned that shit. I know you're too young to appreciate that. You're still living on society's belief system. One that taught you how a woman's supposed to behave her entire life. But let me tell you what, when you get to be a certain age, you say fuck that belief system. I'm gonna live for me. And someday you're gonna appreciate that. Oh, one more thing before I go. Woman to woman. Stop putting other women down. Don't judge them
Amen.
and tell them that you don't respect them because they
Amen.
don't meet your expectations. Society's expectations. We gotta stick together. There's enough shit out there working against us. We don't need to turn on each other. And ageism, especially for women, is the enemy. Being young is only temporary. But grow.
She looks great for 50.
Why does she talk like she's Batman?
She's being, I mean, that gets her more views.
'Cause she's a vigilante.
I think the rest of that was being, that's my favorite line in that is being young is temporary, being old, I think is a blessing or something. I put it on one of my things and love that. First of all, to the younger ladies, always respect older women.
Yes.
And if you seek respect from us, and trust me, you will need us and we need you.
Yes.
And I want to tell you, the older you get, you cross that 40 marker, you do not give a fuck. As long as I am nice to people, I do not give a fuck. I will wear this crop top until I cannot anymore if I want to. I'll do whatever I want to my hair. And it is a privilege to get older. It is so fun to get older. And guess what? Everybody gets there. So be nice, women. Be nice to women. Happy Women's History Month.
Yes.
We'll be right back here next week. Thank you all for tuning in. Can't wait to talk to you next time. Take good care, guys. Later.